that, yes.
You do know that?
Yes. I also know that Restream is, I don't know if we're allowed to say that word, it's annoying and doesn't listen to me.
Is that a PSA? Restream is annoying. That is
Yes.
my PSA for
I was going to
today.
say a B word, but I don't remember where it lands on the yes-no scale.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Our public service announcement today is a reminder to you, to all you guys and girls out there in the Student of the Gun listening audience, that our friends in New York City are struggling every day. Our friends at the NYC tip line, the 311 social distancing tip line, they're struggling. They're having a hard time. They need constant encouragement. Now, there is a way that you can reach out to them and give them the encouragement and the moral boost that they need. Because it's not easy being sleazy.
Is it a moral boost or morale boost?
Morale boost, a moral morale boost.
Is it a moral morale boost?
Yeah, you give them a boost in their morale, and you can do the moral thing. So it's not easy being sleazy, and they need to hear from you. And you can reach out to them, because I just tested this before the show started. Believe it or not, they're still on it. So 311-692 and 692 from an alphanumeric keypad translates to NYC. Get it? New York City, 692. So if you text 311-692, you can send them a message. You can send them a may.
Something to brighten their day.
Yeah, just something to make their day. A picture of your cat or dog or whatever. Because these folks who are organizing the Stasi and sending people out, they're sending out the troops to break up the lines at the 7-Eleven. They're sending out the troops to make sure that little Billy's birthday party doesn't have more than 3 people at it. They're sending out the troops to make sure that the Jewish funeral, the funeral for the rabbi, doesn't have too many people, and they're not standing too close together. Don't forget, His Majesty the King, the Mayor de Bozo. Don't forget what de Bozo has decreed. He hath decreed that. He put the Jews on notice. You're like, what? A mayor, a member of the state, put the Jews on notice that he was going to send the Stasi out after him, the Schuhstoffel, the Sinkerheitsdienst. Yeah, he did. So if you're a Jew in New York, you need to understand that the mayor, he's put you on notice. Jared, did you saw that, right?
No. Yeah, we talked about that on the grad program, I think.
Yeah, we shared it. This is a tweet from Mayor de Bozo.
Yeah.
And he says, "My message to the Jewish community and all communities is this simple. Is it the Muslim community? Is he sending this out to the Muslim community? No, actually, because Mayor de Bozo just used taxpayer money to provide halal meals, yes, to Muslims during their holy time." Yes. You're like, come on, Paul. I mean, it's New York City to serve 500,000 free halal meals during the Muslim, what is it? Muslim Ramadan or Radaman. Is Dennis Radaman going to come and with his wild, crazy hair? You remember that one?
Yeah.
So, and this is on April 23rd. So on April 23rd, de Bozo and his city decided they are going to serve. Now, Jared, is anything actually free in the world?
I guess it maybe depends on who you are, but no.
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 The only thing left free out here is wind and oxygen. We don't have to pay for that. But somebody's paying for it, and it's probably you, the taxpayer.
Yep.
So while de Bozo is given free halal meals to our brothers from the Religion of Peace and Brotherhood, he's put the Jews on notice. So that's right. It's this simple. The time for warnings has passed. The warnings has passed. I have instructed the NYPD to proceed immediately to summons and arrest all those who break the social distancing guidelines. Period.
You know what you need to do?
Yeah.
You need to get a compilation of tweets and quotes and do that. Do a video and just read them like that. Seriously.
Comrade DeBozo has set up the 311 snitch line. So all of you little Karens and Kyles out there, all of you malcontents who are living off of the government teat, if you want to snitch and rat on your neighbors because they're having a birthday party for their kid or they're standing too close to each other at the grocery store. And he said, don't worry, if you call, we will take enforcement action, meaning we'll send the popo out. Yeah. So my call to you during this public service announcement is this. You need to not forget about them. Don't let them be the unsung heroes of COVID-19, of the pandemic. Make sure that you're reaching out to them constantly. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter. You can reach out to the snitch line, the 1-800 snitch line, 311-692, and just let them know. Give them some encouragement. All right. What do we have for our Warrior of the Week question? Well, we have one, and we're going to talk about optics. Yes, indeed, optics. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Jared, remind, this is a call-in, and they called into 844-207-7684, and that number's actually in the show notes. Jared, remind our caller what he needs to do to get his complimentary 9mm plus P from SWAT Fuel.
The Warrior of the Week segment is sponsored by SWAT Fuel. Warrior of the Week brought to you by SWATfuel.com. So if you are in need of some supplements, vitamins is the base of your day, go there, get those, the multivitamin. I use the 9mm plus P and the fat burn formula as well. All of that stuff is good stuff. And since they're a sponsor of this segment, the winner or the person that is asking the question here is going to be shipped a free bottle of the 9mm plus P. And to claim that prize, you just need to simply email info@studentofthegun.com. Send your name, your mailing address, your phone number, and your email typed into the body so it's easier for us to forward on.
There you go. All right, Zach, play the question.
Hey, Professor Paul. This is Matt Walker from Ohio. I got a question looking at the long-range rifle course that we're taking in August, and I have two options for scope. Both of them are same magnification, but one is MILDOT and one is MOA. Just wondering what your thoughts were on preferences between the two and which was a better option. The one caveat that I have is the MILDOT glass is not as clear as the MOA glass. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Okay. Excellent question. MILDOT or MOA, what kind of reticle do you want? There's so many reticles available out there right now. And I understand it can be confusing. It can be confusing to the consumer because they go to Leupold or they go to Burris or they go to, Bushnell, whatever, you name it. And they say, wow, there's so many options. I don't even know which one to get. The truth is both of them will serve you just fine. The most important feature for a long range rifle class is easily adjustable turrets, knobs, windage and elevation. Not so much the windage, but elevation. You need to be able to adjust your elevation on the fly pretty quickly Now, you don't absolutely have to have that if you just want to guesstimate, if you want to use your reticle to guesstimate. And that's what like an MOA or a mil-dot reticle or an MOA reticle, primarily the mil-dot reticle, was designed to allow shooters to estimate and long-range shots and various different distance shots from 200 meters maybe to 5 to 7 to 8, back to 6 to whatever. And once you practice with it, you can get pretty good at it. What we're going to spend a lot of time doing on the range is we're going to spend time learning to use our equipment. And whether it's an MOA reticle or a mil-dot reticle or just a standard crosshair reticle or whatever. Whatever it is, you're going to learn how to use it. Now, when you said, I think the glass is clear on one, that pretty much is the end of that conversation. Because if you get better light transmission through one scope versus another one, you go with that one. I mean, it's all about seeing. You know, it doesn't matter how cool the optic, the rifle scope looks on the outside. It's all about seeing. And if you can see better, if it's clear to see through one scope versus another, then I would go with that one. So, yeah, but when it comes to, some people say, well, what do I have to have? You can get away with the 10 power scope. We've had people get all the way out to 1,000 yards with a 10 power scope. Is it a little bit easier, and can you see the target better with a higher power scope? Yes, you can for sure, but you're not going to be handicapped. Dr. Dan, when he came out here, he had a 10 power scope, and he got out to 1,000 yards. I have to take a sip.
Yeah, but he's a SWAT doctor, and there's no way I could do that.
Yeah, he's a SWAT doctor. That's how he learned how to shoot a rifle.
That's something that is
SWAT doctor.
Yeah, that's something that's pretty important to know, is that no matter what equipment you bring to the class, if you're coming to the precision rifle class, and I recommend that you do, if you can and you have the opportunity and the resources, I hope that we will see you at the end of July or the beginning of August. We've got 2 classes coming up. You can go to SOTGU.com to find those. But the equipment that you bring to the class, you're going to learn how to use that equipment. So it doesn't really matter what it is. Obviously, you want to, if Dad has a recommendation, if he would choose mil-dot over MOA or MOA over mil-dot, then he's going to pass that knowledge on to you. But it's also important to know that whatever equipment you bring to the class, you're actually going to learn to use that equipment and stretch it out as far as those bullets will go.
Yeah, Jared, I want you to go to SOTGU.com right now, and I want you to see what pops up. Yeah, and that's the thing. What do I have? I actually have several different optics. I have several different reticle configurations on different scopes. So it's just about learning to use your equipment. The reason that it's important to bring your rifle, your scope, your ammunition, what have you, whatever you hope or plan to use in the future, that's what you take with you to training. You don't take stuff to training and you're like, well, I'm going to take this to training, but when I get back, I'm going to use this. People will do that with guns and they'll do it with handguns and holsters and whatever. And they're like, well, this is my training setup, but when I'm going about my business every day, I won't wear this. I won't wear that because it's just for training. No, take what you're actually going to use to training. Yeah. And then when you will learn to use and master that thing. And that's what's important. That's what's important. So
I went to SOTGU and it says Precision Rifle, the Spirit of the Rifleman. It's got a video there. It's got an Enroll Now button. It's got a bunch of information on the class. Wow, that looks pretty good. So if go to SOTGU.com if you're interested in the precision rifle class. July's pretty much full. I think we have 1 seat left. Yeah.
Look at what's popping up on my laptop.
Oh, okay. Did you refresh the page?
Well, I haven't been there for weeks or years. Oh, there we go. That's wondered. Weird. Is that a cookie?
That's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I was about to say, is this the kind of thing we should be talking about, like, not on the show?
What's that?
Yeah, that's crazy weird. I don't know why that happened.
Not on the show.
SOTGU.com, you can get precision rifle information, and whatever gear you bring to the class, you're going to learn how to use it.
Yep, 91 days and counting. 91 days and
We've
counting.
got an expert here on Facebook that says most average people would be better off with MOA.
There you go. There you go. All right. What else do we have to say? I guess that's about it for that topic right there. But yeah, like I said, if you guys take whatever you plan to use in the real world, whether you're going to do match competitions or whether you're going to be hunting or whatever, take that stuff with you to training. Learn how to use and master that stuff. That's one of the big frustrations that I know that James goes through is people will show up for a training class and they're like, oh, well, yeah, this is my training practice rig. Well, do you carry that on a normal basis? Oh, no, I wouldn't carry any of this like every day. Like the point is to learn how to use that equipment and to know that equipment is going to work when you need it to work. And if there's any problems or shortcomings with your equipment, you're going to discover those in training. That's how you discover shortcomings. That's how you don't discover shortcomings in your den or your basement or your living room, And the truth is, quite often you don't discover them at your own range, because people will go to their, how many guys have a rifle range and they have concrete benches or you have really sturdy metal or steel benches or wooden ones maybe, and you go and you unload your car and you carry your rifle over and you set it on the bench and then you get all your other crap and you set it on the bench and you sit down and somebody comes over and they're like, hey Jim, and they're like, hey, how are you doing? And you talk and finally you load up, you get some targets down and you shoot from the bench. You're like, okay, that was great. You shoot 10 shots or 20 shots at 200 yards and you're like, woohoo, I'm a master. And then you pack up all your stuff and you leave. And you say to me, you're like, yeah, all my stuff worked great. Yeah, but here's the thing. In the really real world where we are, you're not going to find concrete shooting benches in the really real world when you need to use that. I mean, maybe you will. I don't know. But we're going to go through a lot of different exercises. And by the time you leave, you're going to be amazed at what you've been able to achieve with your rifle. All right. Let's go ahead and thank our friends from Century Arms, centuryarms.com. If you guys did not check it out yet, Zach.
Before you get too far into that, let me thank the top contributors of the Student of the Gun Public Group.
Sorry.
That's all right. I just want to take a quick moment to thank you guys for being contributors to the Student of the Gun Public Group. Like I've said before, you can join on Facebook, but you can also join in the Student Lounge. If you're not a Facebook person, go to members.studentofthegun.com or just go to studentofthegun.com and click that login button and you'll get where you need to go. So the top 10 contributors of the Student of the Gun Public Group on Facebook are Adam Montgomery is number 10, Harry Galinsky, 9, 8 is Steve Pirgantis, 7, Alan Blake, 6, Melissa Ridings, 5 is Andrew Reinert, 4 is Arturo Serran, 3, Derek Babcock, 2 is Daniel Larson, and number 1 is Trent Wood. Thank you guys for taking the time and the effort to actually, what are you thinking about over there?
I'm thinking about black powder and Pyrodex.
Does it have to do with the public group contributors?
No.
Okay. I was like, what is he thinking about? He's like doing
I
a
was letting you
super
talk, and I was thinking about black powder and stuff.
inquisitive thing that he's doing. But yeah, so if you want to be a top contributor of the public group on Facebook, then just share some stuff, add your commentary there, and then you're good to go. Leave some comments on other people's posts as well.
Well, let me go ahead and tell you where how my brain goes. While you were talking, I was thinking of all these things that I want to do because it's nice now and the sun's out. And,
yeah, it's beautiful today.
And the last couple of days, it hasn't been that windy. A little bit, but not much. I have not had the opportunity to shoot my black powder rifles in a long time. And I found the toolbox that has all the black powder stuff in it, all the tools and widgets and caps and decappers and all that jazz. And, I've got Pyrodex for certain things. And then if you want to shoot a flintlock rifle, you need actual genuine black powder because Pyrex and the artificial stuff doesn't really work in a flintlock. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was going through all the things in my mind. I used to shoot a lot of black powder when we would do the living history classes. I had the whole outfit, the shirt and the hunting pants and the pouch in the back. You know what I found, Jared? Do you remember a bone handled knife that had your initials inscribed in it?
Yeah.
I found it. It's here.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Was that at camp that I made that, or was that at the Kill and Buck with Don?
No, yeah, we got it from Don when we went down. It was a prize.
That's right. Yeah.
When we went to the rendezvous black powder shoot.
I remember that.
So yeah,
Zach's the one that made the knife at the camp.
Yep, Zach made a
Yes,
knife
I
at
did.
camp. And I actually found another stag handle knife that I had made that I'd totally forgotten about.
Can you send me a picture of that knife with my initials in it?
Yes,
I want to send it to DJ.
Yeah, not right now, but I mean,
No, I need it now.
I need it now. You know what else you need? You guys need to go over to either the Student of the Gun YouTube channel or Facebook or Instagram and watch the video that Zach just recently put up about red dot sights. I filmed it. He edited it. He put it up on our social media. Boom, it's out there. Because we've had a bunch of questions. We just had a question last week?
Yep.
About red dots and what do we think about them and should you have them on carry guns and all that jazz. And what I featured in the video was the TP9 SF Elite Combat. Yeah, because the Elite Combat comes with a mounting system or the capability to mount a red dot on it. I put the Trigicon RMR on there, and I've shot it a whole bunch, but we filmed it, shot it, discussed it, and if you guys are curious about red dots on pistols, check that video out. Like I said, Zach put it on all of our social media platforms, so you guys can check that out. And if you want to check out Century Arms, the sweetest smelling arms maker in the U.S. of A., go to centuryarms.com.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, speaking of Century, aren't they shipping one of the Elites? Isn't it the Combat that's got the red dot on it?
Yeah, you can get the SC, the subcompact. You can get it with or without the shield red dot. Included.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they have a partnership with Vortex for the bigger guns, for the SFX.
Nice.
And also for the Elite Combats. I think you can get the Elite Executive with a Vortex Viper. Is it the Viper? I can't remember. It's a red dot. So check those guys. They've got everything on their website. All right, Duracoat. Some of you guys have gotten on it, and some of you haven't. And some of you have posted pictures on Facebook, but not on Instagram. And if you guys are in the Liberty Mastermind and you've done a badass finish project, and I know some of you did, one of you just did one with the official Student of the Gun colors, the blue, the gray, and the white.
Sweet.
And I can't remember who that was. I'm going to look it up right now. But
Some cool person.
do us a favor and post that to Instagramage. And make sure you use the hashtag badass finish and hashtag Duracoat and Student of the Gun. But the badass finish one is really the most important because that's where we're going to go first to find the pictures and when we choose the winners. And scroll down. I hate it when things get buried. But long story short, you're doing a badass finish. Here we go. It was Brian Cox. Good job, Brian Cox. Yeah, he did his pimp hand lower, and he got his pimp hand lower, and he did a complete build out, and he used the official Student of the Gun colors, the gray, the blue. It looks really good. It's the faux shizzle. And if you guys haven't seen it, he even bought a Fighting Solves Everything dust cover. Yeah. Does Joe have any of the official pimp hand lowers left? At Ackless, do they have any?
Don't think so, but I have to reach out to him and ask.
Well, I mean, you guys can go to Ackless Defense and check them. And if they do, you can get one. If they don't, then you can't.
I'll drop a link in the show notes.
Yep. So, yeah, check those guys out at Duracoat. Do a badass finished project. Post pictures of it. We're going to pick 3 winners. You're going to get prizes. It's all cool. It's all good. It's warm now. You've got time. Get yourself a project. Do the project and be a happy camper. Crossbreed Holsters wants you to be dangerous on demand. And you can do that by going to crossbreedholsters.com and use the promo code SOTG18 because that's going to save you money and you're going to be even happier because you saved money and you've got a quality holster. I'm wearing a Crossbreed holster right now with a gun in it because it's the most comfortable, highest quality concealed carry holster you're going to buy. There you go. Check those guys out. And, of course, Brownells. And we're to talk in detail about what's going on with our friends at Brownells on Wednesday. But for now, I want you guys to know that they're doing their darndest to restock everything after the big blowout in the end of March and early April. They're restocking. They're getting more stuff in. It's just going to take time. If they don't have your favorite ammo or whatever, there's a reason for that because everyone on the planet went price shopping and like we mentioned previously, all the cheap stuff is gone because all the amateurs, the new gun owners, they just were buying whatever was cheapest. But the really good stuff is available. So check those guys out. Like, for instance, we talked about Black Hills Ammo and so on and so forth. Check those guys out at brownhills.com. Sign up for their newsletter. All right. How we doing on time there, Shipping Ogre guy?
We're about 28 minutes in.
All right. It is time for you to, if you're a new listener, and even if you're an old listener, you still need to listen up to what Zach's about to play.
Attention new listeners. We produced a complimentary online training course called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. Get instant access by joining the Student Lounge for free at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of these questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
All right. Yes, indeed. What is going on in this world in which we live? I know that many of you are busy doing thises and that's, but you need to understand what is going on in your world because if you fail to pay attention, other people are just going to make decisions for you. We got a situation here in New York. And you say, well, everything's great in New York because His Majesty the King, Mayor DeBozo, he's got it all taken care of, right? I mean, he set up the snitch line. What else do you need? Well, we got a story here. Jared, do you want to read this? It's
not really, but I'll do it anyway. It says, NYC man released from Rikers Island over coronavirus arrested on new rape charge. Jeez. There's a video here of the people talking and stuff. It says a Brooklyn man was arrested Saturday for allegedly sexually assaulting a woman just 10 days after he was released from Rikers Island over concerns about the spread of coronavirus behind bars. Robert Pondexter, not Poindexter, Robert Pondexter.
Yeah.
57.
Make sure you get the scumbag's name right.
Yep. He was held at the notorious New York City prison on a separate rape charge when he was released. So he had a rape charge. And
that's what's important in this story. Jared, you remember a month or so ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, when this nonsense started. And what were we told about the prisoners who were going to be released to keep them safe?
They were non-violent offenders.
Yes.
Rape is a violent offense.
Yeah, they were not felons. They were all non-violent offenders.
I haven't read this entire story yet. This dude, the thing, I think the way that they're scooting around this is that maybe he wasn't technically convicted, but he was being held. I don't know.
Hi, Rikers is a penitentiary. You don't go there while you're awaiting trial.
Yep.
You're a convicted. You get to go to Rikers when you're a convicted felon.
Exactly.
That's how you get to go there.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah.
Because that's what I've heard.
Out in the local sheriff's jail.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard from people. Well, maybe he wasn't technically convicted, not with this specific story, but other stuff. I'm like, well, I mean, if you look at where they're being held, it makes a big difference. So it says he was charged Saturday with attempted rape and sexual assault, among other offenses. The New York Post cited anonymous police sources for that. NYPD responded to a 911 call at about 5:45 a.m. in Brooklyn's Flatbush neighborhood. The caller told police a man had been walking across the street from a supportive housing development when he allegedly grabbed a 58-year-old woman whom he did not know, by the collar and pulled her into a school parking lot. The woman told officers he forced her to perform oral sex and demanded that she remove her pants before she was able to kick away from him. She was transported to a local hospital. He was released from Rikers on April 15th. So this was done on Saturday, which was April, 23rd or 24th?
I think it was 25th.
25th?
10 days. It's 10 days.
Yeah, so 10 days later. He, April 15th, as part of the facility's effort to improve social distancing and prevent the spread. So in an effort to improve social distancing, they released a rapist.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He had been held for allegedly raping a different woman who he used drugs with. Allegedly raping. So was he not convicted of rape? I don't quite understand why it says if he was being held at that prison, then interesting. 2 weeks ago, a convicted murderer who had also been released from Rikers Island over coronavirus concerns was back behind bars after allegedly trying to rob a bank in Lower Manhattan. Wow.
So they released a convicted murderer?
Yep, a convicted murderer. Well, yeah, but he did that in 1995. He got convicted.
Yeah,
I mean, that
was
was
a
like
long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
You know, he's good to go now. He's good to go now. Obviously, he's rehabilitated himself because he went straight into a bank and tried to rob it.
But and then he was arrested on March 3rd for allegedly beating and choking his girlfriend inside their home. And he spent 3 weeks at Rikers Island before he was cleared for release on March 28th.
Well, there you go, man. I mean, we got to keep these crooks safe. We can't risk the 1% chance that they could get the virus and die. It's too much of a risk. We need to let them out. How did we get to this point as a nation? We've had pandemics before in America. We've had flu. We had the swine flu. We've had the bird flu. We had SARS Part 1. COVID-19 is basically SARS Part 2. You guys remember SARS? Or we don't remember because the whole country has the attention span of a housefly. This is basically SARS Part 2. If you look at the first SARS epidemic, which came from where? Where did it come from?
New York?
No, it came from China.
Oh.
If you look at the first SARS problem and you compare it to today, you're like, wow, it's almost the same thing. It's like statistically, like the symptoms and the spreading, it's almost the exact same thing. Oh. You know what we didn't do when SARS hit the first time? When the swine flu hit? When the bird flu hit? We didn't open up our prisons and let all the felons and rapists and murderers out. What in the world are you allowing to happen in your country? An inmate and a corrections officer both tested positive. Well, just unlock the jail and let everybody out. Zach, do you have an update from Arkham?
What? No, I do not.
You don't have an update from Arkham? Did they open up Arkham and just let everybody out?
I think that would be a very bad idea if that happened.
Why not? I mean, we got to keep them safe.
And so after those two they tested positive in mid-March, Kumo, however you say his name,
It's Kumo.
he cleared the way for 1,200 nonviolent offenders who are being held for parole violations. And
Like
it says since then, at least 6 staff members have died from coronavirus, and more than 900 other employees have tested positive. So
I don't believe it.
So are they? Well, if this is true, are they saying that the releasing the people didn't help?
So since they let 1,200 nonviolent rapists and murderers out, they've had 900 positive tests
for employees. 373 for inmates. So that's almost the same amount. That's actually over the same amount that they released.
The jail population has been reduced by 1,669 people, inmates, felons, criminals, since March 16th. Yeah, New York has blah, 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 confirmed cases and blah, 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 confirmed deaths. Sorry, not believing it. First of all, you can't throw numbers at me anymore because I know that you're lying. No, you don't, Paul. You don't know that they're lying. Yeah, we do. When they added 3,700 deaths to the CV-19 death toll, but then admitted that, well, they didn't test positive, but they had symptoms similar too.
Yeah.
So anybody who has the flu, anybody who has pneumonia, anybody who has any, I guess you could say, HIV will produce flu-like symptoms. HIV produces pneumonia-like symptoms. People who get HIV don't die of HIV. They die of pneumonia and other things, right? So they're stacking the deck. When we found out that they're incentivizing doctors to declare cases to be CV because they get money for that, but they don't get money for the flu. I'm sorry, not believing it. But here's what I am believing. I am believing that the irresponsible douchebags in New York have put the people of New York in jeopardy. How do you suppose this woman feels, this raped woman feels? You think she feels pretty good? She's like, well, at least this poor man is safe from the virus. I know I was raped and brutalized, and that's something I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life. But at least this poor rapist was kept safe from the virus. That's what's important. Really? Is that what's important? We haven't talked about it yet, but California released 7 high-level sex offenders. This is a tag from this same exact story. What a high-risk sex offender is somebody who has done it probably more than once and has been determined to do it again. But they just let them out. So the California governor released seven rapists out into the GP, general population. But we've been told this whole time, every time we bring it up, every time the governors and the mayors are questioned about this, what they're like, oh, calm down there, conspiracy person. These are all non-violent offenders who were eligible for parole anyway. Really? Now, as we digest this story about New York, and also because California doesn't want to be left behind. New York and California have this psychotic competition to see who can be the most screwed up communist state in the country, So while you're letting that digest, while you're mulling that over, the fact that New York and California are releasing rapists who've been caught and put in a jail, and they're like, we just can't keep them in the jail. Just send them back out into the general population. They probably won't rape anybody else. Probably. Maybe. So while they're doing that, while that's happening in our country, the police are keeping us safe from whom, Jared? Story from BC2.
Business owners.
From dog groomers.
Yep.
Yes. So We're not worried about rapists and murderers, right? Don't worry about those guys. We need to keep them safe. Can't keep them in jail. They might get the virus, and that would be the worst thing to ever happen in the history of the world. But
Yep. Oshkosh dog groomer was arrested. This is in Wisconsin, by the way, for opening for opening business hours before state changes guidelines. So before your master says you can open your business, the owner went ahead and opened their business. It says
taken into custody.
Yeah, arrested. An Oshkosh dog groomer was taken into custody Monday for violating the governor's safe-at-home orders restricting non-essential businesses during the coronavirus pandemic. It happened not long after the state adjusted its guidelines to allow dog groomers to open again. On April 24th, the Winnebago County Health Department contacted Oshkosh Police to inform them that the Dog Depot, 1225 South Main Street, was open even though the health department has deemed the business non-essential.
Oh, I'm glad that my masters have decided that my small business is non-essential. Thank you. I'm glad you have that power.
It's crazy. Sergeant with the Oshkosh Police Department, who is an oath violator, went to the business and spoke with the owner. The sergeant informed the owner that she had to close immediately. This is a quote. The owner was warned several times and explained why she needed to close.
Exactly why is that?
The owner said that she disagrees with the Winnebago County Health Department and that she would not comply with the governor's orders and that she would not close her store. End quote. And that was a statement from Oshkosh Police. Mm-hmm. Police say they consulted with the district attorney's office and they agreed it was a violation of Governor Tony Evers' safe-at-home order.
Safer at home.
Quote, due to her disregard and the multiple warnings she received, the sergeant advised the business owner that he was going to refer her to the district attorney's office for the charge of violating the governor's orders. And that each day that her business continued to stay open would result in another charge. End quote. This makes my blood boil. On Monday, the owner, Lisa, opened the Dog Depot, and then police took her into custody. Video of the arrest has been shared thousands of times on Facebook. You can watch a video. There's a link in the story. This is just freaking insane. This is who is this? Okay, I think this is a quote from the owner. Why we're considered non-essential is beyond me, first of all. But that's why we opened on the 24th, because we legally waited until the 24th to do that, end quote.
So the governor of the state of Wisconsin, what am I getting in this here? That he said it was okay, but the Winnebago County Public Health Department, Stasi, these little, you know what these people are, Jared? They're exactly like the local HOA president. They have little tiny thimble weenies.
This is crazy.
And they're looking for power. They're looking for this cop's not practicing social distancing. He doesn't have any protective gear on. So aren't they violating exactly what they're telling other people not to do? Well, it's okay because they're the police, and police don't have to do what other people do because they're special.
She was handcuffed in front of a client that was there waiting to pick up his dog. And then she said, I don't appreciate being handcuffed in front of a client that was sitting there waiting to pick up his dog. But then I came right back to work to finish the dogs I had sitting here waiting for me. So she was handcuffed and then immediately released, I guess.
She was taken to jail and booked and released on her own recognizance. So the police have time to arrest dog groomers. So your police out there, your heroes in uniform, all these heroes in uniform, they have the time to arrest dog groomers. But at the same time, Jared, how many times do I have to repeat this? What Los Angeles County Sheriff put out a memorandum to the peasants. Listen up, peasants. Don't call us, because if it's only a breaking and entering, we ain't coming. If it's only pimping, we ain't coming. If it's, what was it? Manslaughter? No, negligent homicide. If it's negligent homicide, we ain't coming. If it's car theft, we ain't coming. So that list needs to be like blown up into poster size.
Yeah.
So on one hand, they did the same thing in Cincinnati. They put out a list of these are not essential crimes. They decided that these crimes don't require our immediate response. We'll get to them someday, right? Eventually. So they won't respond to a B&E report, but they'll go arrest a dog groomer.
And the county, Winnebago County, has 48 confirmed cases and 1 death.
48 cases.
And 1 death, and they're arresting somebody.
People live in Winnebago County.
Yeah.
You suppose that's like a fraction of a percentage?
It's crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't figured out by now that this has nothing to do with health and safety and has everything to do with controlling you, I don't know how to bring you around. I really don't. We're living in some kind of bizarre Twilight Zone world where we have governors and mayors and county commissioners, and we have sheriffs opening up their jails and letting criminals just walk. So the sheriff in LA County will let criminals walk. 1,400 criminals out. Bye. See ya. Come back later. Maybe. Whatever. And what happens to these people who are just let out? And they haven't even, like one guy, did 2 days of his sentence and was let out because we can't let him get the virus. And then he went right out and was it a rape or a murder? You remember that one, the 2 days?
I don't remember that one.
Rape or murder. He served 2 days. Oh, it was murder. Because he was a convicted felon. He was put in jail, right?
So he was already a felon, committing other crimes.
2 days later, he killed a dude. 2 days later. So all of our heroes in blue don't have time for rapists and murderers and thieves. I mean, what did we talk about last week? Car theft is up 65% in New York.
Yeah.
They don't have time for that. But they have time to harass the small business owners. They have time to break up kids' birthday parties.
I wish they could find a way to increase the small business owners' business by 65%. That'd be amazing.
We'll send 30 cops out to break up a 5-year-old's birthday party. But we won't send 30 cops out to break up a car theft ring, because that's hard.
Why are the cops doing this, though? You know, they have a choice. I don't understand why. Actually, I kind of do, because psychology and the way it works, but yeah.
I've been ringing this alarm bell for years, and I've been telling you that they're turning these people into policy enforcement officers.
Well, and now it's proven. We've seen it.
Care about the Constitution.
They're turning them into oath breakers, like literally.
They're every single one of these people is an oath breaker. Amendment 1, U.S. Constitution, Supremacy Clause, some mealy-mouthed little puke bag Winnebago County Health Department official does not supersede the Constitution of the United States of America. Sorry. It's not how it works.
We know how we fix this. We just get rid of that oath that they swear in. They just don't even have them say oath, and we don't have to worry about them being oath breakers.
You fix it with the reckoning. You guys should familiarize yourself with that term. All right, Wednesday. What are we going to talk about on Wednesday? Wednesday, we're going to talk about Liberty Test. I'm a patriot, but really? Because if you say you're a patriot and then you say but afterwards, I don't think you passed the Liberty Test. We've got an update from our buddies at Brownells. We've got a student of the gun homeroom talking about being dangerous on demand, and we've got yet another epic failure. We got if you, number one, if you're not prepared to take care of yourself and your family, you better get that way. That's all I have to say about that. You better get that way. All right, folks, that is all I've got for you today. Thank you very much for being a part of the Student of the Gun audience. Thank you for listening and sharing and all the good things that you do. Boys, you got anything to say before we let them go?
I appreciate you guys being here with us. Support our partners, our sponsors, the people that support us and make the show possible. If you're watching the video, you can see them listed across the top of the video. Please go support them, go to their websites, and actually buy some stuff from them. It's the easiest way to let them know that you appreciate them.
Yeah, let them know. Let them know. All right, you are a beginner once.
You're a student for life.
We appreciate your reviews. If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new, free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.